Hey everyone, and welcome to Empowered by Self-Love, the podcast. My name is Jessica Fuentes, and I am a transformational life coach. I will be here every Saturday talking to you about how to transform those difficulties you encounter throughout your life into lessons. How can you transform that victim mindset into one of opportunity and growth? If you want to transform your life, the key is to learn and realize that you have everything you need within yourself. If you're looking for a safe place to find inspiration, motivation, and the tools to become empowered, then this is the podcast to listen to. This podcast is brought to you by me and my webpage, Empowered-SelfLove.com. Thank you for joining me every Saturday, and I'd like to give a special thanks to all of you who have been following me since day one on my pages on Facebook and Instagram, and now on my podcast. In this episode, I will be talking about the self-talk. Hi and welcome. Thank you for joining me this Saturday, and I wish for you to feel well, energetic, and ready for today's topic, which is the self-talk. This is a very important topic to discuss because the way you talk to yourself is key to the way your life has been up until now. If your life is not that positive, and you are noticing that you don't seem to be successful, it is time to take a look at the way you've been talking to yourself. We are the worst inside of our heads, aren't we? This is a very important and major change we need to work on improving and changing. And I say we because I am also a victim of my own self-critique. This is a very destructive habit that is actually limiting you from growing, from experiencing life at its best, from taking risks, from even reaching happiness. That voice inside your head is there to guide you, not to criticize you. And if the voice is there to criticize you, then it is not the right voice to listen to. You and me have fallen for the wrong idea that it is okay or normal to hear this voice, and that voice is there to tell you things like, who do you think you are to be trying to start a business? Or it goes to tell you, you're too young for that, or you're too old for that. Or other things such as, you're not that smart, or come on, you're not a doctor, what do you know? Or other things like, you're going to end up alone. My God, the list of negatives that you speak in your head is infinite. Imagine changing your thoughts into constructive ones. In thoughts that instead of bringing you down, they will lift you up, and therefore you will try new things. You will take risks. You will experience life in a completely different way. It is a hard habit to break, but the results can be astonishing. Let me play it along for you so you can visualize what I am saying. Imagine you want to start your own business. However, nobody in your family has ever had a business and you have no direct experience in that matter. That voice in your head will tell you, what makes you think that you will be able to have your own business? Nobody from your family has succeeded as an entrepreneur, so you won't be able to succeed either. What will happen if you listen to that voice? I'm guessing here that you will not pursue the idea of developing your own business, and if you do, your internal voice will constantly remind you that you can't, that it won't work out, and therefore you will fail. This is how powerful this voice is. But who is giving the voice this power? You are, and I am, because I have done that to myself. Alternatively, let's change the voice. Let's change the rhetoric. When that voice starts to talk and you realize that it is not serving you well because it is telling you things that will not allow you to grow, then you need to quiet that voice, like immediately. Reject the destructive thoughts and replace them with constructive ones. The most difficult step is the realization. Once you have created the awareness, the second step is to tell the voice to be quiet, literally. And you consciously will talk back at that voice and tell her, "You are wrong. I am capable of becoming an entrepreneur. I might not know everything I need to know in order to succeed, but I am ready to learn. I am ready to take risks. I am capable to do this and learn throughout the process." Trust me, this is the beginning of many internal arguments you will have with this voice of yours. If she's there to limit you, you are going to stop her and defend yourself from its destructive talks. You don't have to listen. This voice has been built up in your head due to a collection of wrong information. This voice has built in your head because you have heard other people who most likely have never even attempted to start a business say things like it is not possible, or that their friend attempted and failed, or that a family member attempted and failed. And this is the voice that is coming to your head. It's really not your voice. It is somebody else's. And this not only happens to the version of you who wants to become an entrepreneur, it also happens to the version of you who wants to lose weight, or the version of you who wants to run a marathon, or you who wants to find love or get a better job. Again, if it's there to limit you, you are ready to shut it down. Let's put another example here. Let's say that you've had bad luck in your romantic relationships. You've experienced too many heartbreaks. Your defense mechanism will tell you that this means love is not for you. This is the information you have collected due to the experiences, and therefore you decided to assume that the reason you have not been supposedly lucky in love is because it is not for you. How wrong is this? What if you challenge that assumption? What if you decide to refuse to believe that that is true, and then you rather change the assumption into, "You know what? I have not found the right person yet because I needed to experience what I have experienced and learned up until now in preparation to meet the person that is right for me." That little change can be so powerful. We all make assumptions and adopt these ways of thinking as our truth without ever challenging the idea. And then we allow this false idea to limit our lives. As a result, we then choose to stay low and play it safe. The problem with this idea is that you won't be able to pursue the things that you should. The fact that you failed once or even 20 times doesn't mean that it won't ever work out. It simply means that those 20 ways you tried don't work out. You need to continue trying in other ways. This is only progress. You are now closer to reaching the goal, whichever goal it is, because you now have more information as to what not to do. If you need to change your strategy, that is okay, because it is what you needed to do to get closer to that goal that you want to reach. Even sometimes you'll need to challenge or change or adjust the initial goal. But I'll tell you, always challenge that voice of yours that tries to break you down. You deserve so much better. So stop criticizing yourself and start to be more compassionate with yourself. Be more loving. Talk to yourself the same way you will talk to someone you love. Will you be so harsh? I can even ask you, will you be so mean? So, there you have it. Tell your voice to shut up. Challenge it. Reject the destructive thoughts and replace them with constructive ones. Be ready to ask yourself questions like, what is another way of seeing this? Or, how is this thought serving me into overcoming the situation that I am experiencing right now? Stop telling yourself that you are not good enough, because you are enough. Remember that a diamond is hidden inside a rock. But once you polish that rock, the diamond shines. Same thing will happen to you once you remove the dirt that you allow your mind to feed you. In fact, you should keep track of the way you speak to yourself. Keep a journal and write down all the negative and disgusting things you tell yourself in one day. When you sit down and you look at your journal, I want you to challenge those thoughts. I want you to reject them actively, out loud. For every I can't, replace it with I can, with I am capable, with I will. You don't need to know how right now. You just need to tell yourself that you can. And trust me, you will. Because you are capable of accomplishing anything you set your mind to do. Continuing to allow that destructive voice to rule your life will only bring destruction, failure, unhappiness, anxiety, and even sicknesses. So, what's it gonna be? How do you want to live your life? If you're listening to this podcast, it is because you want to transform your life, right? Then start to be nicer and more loving to yourself. Start to believe in yourself. And start to believe that you deserve better. And that is exactly what you will attract. Now let me highlight the top 5 takeaways from today's episode. Number 1, the voice inside your head is there to guide you. It is not there to criticize you or to destroy you. Number 2, when you become aware that the message from this voice inside of you is destructive, you need to take charge and change the rhetoric and replace the destructive thoughts with constructive ones. Number 3, when your inner voice is limiting you, it is your signal. It is time to quiet it down and challenge it. Number 4, remember that failure is part of growth. The fact that you have failed at something doesn't mean that you won't ever succeed. It simply means that you now have discovered different ways that are not effective. Number 5, always show love, respect, and compassion to yourself. Don't allow that inner voice to bring you down. You need to transform that inner voice into your ally, not into your enemy. If you feel that this is a message you connected with, I am very glad and happy that this will be the beginning of an extraordinary journey of empowerment for you. So remember, you have a date with me every Saturday. You can't miss the next episode in which I will be talking about self-love. Thank you for listening to today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it and that it brought some perspective as well as hope. If there is any particular topic you would like me to discuss, or if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me via email at jessica.fuentes@empowered-selflove.com. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook and Instagram. You can find me there as empowered.selflove. I also encourage you to check out my webpage, empowered-selflove.com. And if you would like to hire me as your transformational life coach, please reach out to me via email I will guide you into the qualification process and explain the packages I offer for the one-on-one coaching services. You will find all the links on the episode's notes. Remember, if you like this content or thought of somebody that could benefit from it, please share with your friends and family. Remember, we have a date every Saturday. I can't wait for us to meet again.